Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Witch Doctor series with me, your host, KageKaze, and of course, Old Man Deckard Cain. But enough about him. We don't care about him. I'll cut you! Swear to God, I'll cut you! Anyway, moving on. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a few days since the 4-hour stint that I played, in which, well, I recorded 4 videos and put them out there for your viewing pleasure. At this point, I've had several days to kind of play the game. I've made a few starting characters, played them in a party, gotten a feel for how things are. Just really, honestly, have to say, really enjoying it. Going through and really liking the leveling experience. Again, this new patch for Reaper of Souls has been fantastic. Reaper of Souls, by the way, is so close. It's hard to believe that it's just a few days away. I mean, actually, right as of now, it's like 4 days away, I do believe. So it's exciting. I'm honestly looking forward to it. I was kind of hoping to maybe get the Witch Doctor up to Act 5 before it came out. Probably not going to happen. But I want to take a moment here before I move on. We're at the quest where we're going to go back to the cathedral and we're going to try and take on Leoric, the Skeleton King. Prior to that, I want to talk about the feedback I've been receiving. And honestly, I already interjected one intro into one of the videos where I wanted to say thank you to all of you, and I just wanted to say it again. Thank you very much. The comments have been quite filled with a lot of either feedback or suggestions or just some good discussion about how the game has changed, and I really love to see that. I really do, and it's been great encouragement all along. Now, as far as the difficulty is concerned, I actually got mixed responses about Torment and Master. And I honestly have mixed feelings about it. I want to kind of continue on to Torment. Actually, we can talk while we go in here into the cathedral. I kind of want to continue on with Torment because I enjoy the difficulty that it brings. It allows me to... Oh, hey, here we go. Unique monster, Caretaker McCree. Now, I kind of want to continue on with it because it is very difficult, and it forces me to get used to my builds, right? There we go. I used my sacrifice and got one dog back, and then blew him up again. All right, so I have to kind of get used to my builds, and I have to play careful, right? It's one problem with lower difficulties, or at least the game back when I played it in Normal and Nightmare, was that a lot of the lower difficulties, especially Normal, a lot of the builds you could create they would seem like they would be good only because the monsters you were killing were just not up to snuff, right? The levels of the monsters that you're fighting, like right now, I'm losing dogs, I'm losing my gargantuan. That wouldn't happen on Normal, you know. You would never know if it would be useful or not, and I wouldn't really have to really worry too much about the special properties and things like that. But in this I have to. But I think if I brought it down one more level, I could still get some good use out of it, because one of the big things here... I'm going to spam that, actually. I don't know why I haven't been spamming that. Yeah, that was mentioned as well. I should spam that. I think part of the reason why I didn't is I think of the poison damage over time that it does, and I do not believe it stacks, so I just put it down for the poison. But it does have that initial hit of 300, so why I'm not spamming it is anybody's guess. So thank you for mentioning that. I will try and endeavor to do that more. So I might bring it down, especially since I want to make some story progress. I want to get to at least Leoric with Torment. I want to see if I can beat him Torment side. I have a feeling that might not be a problem. Part of that is because before I get to him, I'm going to get Cormac. And you may or may not have seen in a live stream I was doing, and I eventually put the video up and talked about some of the changes to followers. The healing that he does has been massively buffed, and it is really, really good at low levels. At higher levels, when you get to like 60 and you get to, I suppose, even up to 70, it's still good, but it isn't as pretty much invulnerable as it is now. I mean, you can pretty much be invulnerable with his healing outside of some very strenuous affixes. Like, Leoric basically couldn't do enough damage to me. So we'll see. But if it takes forever to kill him, of course, too, then I'm really not going to want to do that. I think that's one of the big things that I'm dealing with here is, while it's a good challenge, a lot of what makes Torment difficult is the fact that enemies just don't die right away. And I do want to try and get some killing speed up. So I'll be evaluating that. I think after Leoric, I will probably bring it down. Because we'll still be getting a decent killing speed going. And part of what I've been talking a lot about items and how the item find ratio is a little off compared to my leveling ratio. I do want to bring up that I have thought about it, and that I do know that a big portion of it is this. The experience gain is increased by 100%. I thought that was 50% before. Did they just double that again? I could have sworn that was 50% before. Oh my goodness, I don't even know. So yeah, I'm getting a crap ton of experience, and my leveling experience is being boosted doubly so by this buff. Now, whether or not it's double the extra experience that Torment would give me, or it's just another 100% off of Torment, that's hard to say, but it's still a buff, and it still is increasing my leveling speed beyond what I should normally expect. Yeah, see, this isn't really going too badly. I'm surviving, not really having too hard of a time with it. Taking a little bit of damage here, but for the most part, this isn't bad. It's just taking a while to kill monsters, so that's kind of lending me more to wanting to do that. So it was perfectly split between the two. So I don't have any qualms either way. One thing about keeping it on Torment is that I will get to 60 pretty quick before I get to the end game, and it will allow me to spend time trying out different builds, and of course finding possibly legendary items, which I'm very happy that I got my first legendary like real early in this game. That makes me exceptionally happy. A lot of other characters I've been playing, I've made multiple characters, gotten them up to level 35. Each one has found at least one legendary. I am so happy by that. I cannot tell you enough how happy I am about that. It is so different from before. I found more legendaries in this new patch than I have ever found in all the previous patches combined. And that's... I don't think that's an exaggeration. I really don't. I believe, truly, that my ratio of legendary find is exactly like that. Now, keep in mind, too, I was only playing fairly casually near the end, so I didn't put a ton of time into the game like a lot of other people did. But I've got several hours under my belt. I was going to say several hundred. I don't think I can quantify that exactly. There we go, new level 25. Alright, so Spined Dart. Very nice. Grasp of the Dead, Death is Life. Ooh, Big Bad VooDoo, excellent. So we got 3, I believe that is going to see the end of the Gargantuan. And with that, I will probably go ahead and get rid of my sacrifice. The dogs, I feel like the dogs haven't worked as well as they used to. Last time I got the dogs with sacrifice and got no, wait, I'm using rabbit dogs, aren't I? Oh, that's right, it's under sacrifice. Each zombie dog has a 35% chance of giving me a new dog. I've tried that in the past and had a lot more success with it. Right now, I'm not having much luck with it. I'm only getting maybe 1 dog, which is what you would expect from the percentage. It's a third. But there were times where I would get some really good luck, and I would have 2 or 3 dogs, basically get them all back, and just be able to blow them up again, which is a lot of damage if you can do that. Alright, new skills. Let's go ahead and evaluate those real quick. I'm happy to get rid of the toads. I hate the toads. I hate the toads. I don't like the corpse spiders much either. I really thought I would like the corpse spiders more than I do. I do not. It's a shame. Fireball, Poison Dart. I like them both. Certain runes under these two might be good. But Poison Dart, we've got Spine Dart. 25 mana every time a Poison Dart hits an enemy. So not only do we have the lack of mana cost on it, now I'm going to get back a bunch of mana. So I can truly spam a whole bunch of damage. Alright, so the Gargantuan is going away. We're getting Big Bad VooDoo. Yes, big and bad and duty. Don't know where my mind is. It's in the gutter. Absolutely. Alright, cooldown, 120 seconds, so 2 minutes. Conjure a fetish. It begins a ritual dance that increases the attack speed and movement speed of all nearby allies. So a true attack speed buff, massive attack speed buff. And I think this will be good combined with Zombie Handler. Give myself additional, keep the additional dogs going. What I am thinking is I might go ahead and get rid of Sacrifice. What was the other skill I got? I got the Grasp of the Dead. Hey, actually, this is great. I can replace Sacrifice with Grasp. Get a skill I prefer to use. Alright, so Death is Life. Enemies who die while in the area of the Grasp of the Dead have a 10% chance to drop a health globe or summon a zombie dog. So there we go. That gives me more dogs. Now, I could combine Death is Life with Sacrifice Next of Kin and get myself even more dogs to blow up. I could possibly enhance that further with Circle of Life, which was brought up in the comments. I want to bring this up, was an excellent point about Circle of Life, is the fact that the 20-yard radius on it there, which is actually smaller than you would think. It doesn't have a very large radius, so that is a lot of the reason why I wasn't finding a lot of dogs with it. But there were times I was getting a few, and enemies do tend to get up on you, so it can still be useful. Like blue hue, so definitely reminiscent of mana. Alright, let us continue on. I will be spamming as much as possible. Alright, so another thing that came up was about the crafting, and that was a big one that I was kind of concerned with. I went ahead and made the decision to craft some items without having actually found some of the materials. And so far, no one really seemed to be upset by that, but it was asked more often than not, I believe, to just do self-found, like try and use exactly what I find. And honestly, I was leaning towards that anyway. The beginning was the part where it was just difficult to do that, and I wanted to at least have a few items from the start of the game to be able to get by, because of the low item drop rate meant it was very difficult to find some of the early items. But I have no problems going back to the self-found. It was really something that I was kind of planning to do anyway. And I kind of realized I kind of screwed myself as far as my materials, because I did not keep tabs of what materials I had in my inventory. So I don't know how many tiers, how many essences I had. So what we're going to do is try not to die. Use the voodoo. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep the materials in my inventory. And so that way I'm keeping track of it. It's something I've been doing with my other characters, is I've been keeping all of their materials separate and in their own respective inventories. Now I do have quite a bit of materials in my stash, and of course they don't all belong to this character, so I'm not just going to pull them out. What I might do is pull out a handful of the essences. I'm not going to pull out any tiers, because I know I've spent way more tiers than I should have. I might not even do that. We'll see how it feels. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep better track of it. Keep the things in my inventory so I can know what I can make, what I can't make. So again, thanks to everyone that left feedback or just in general conversation. It's really great. Really great to see that. It's something that I really like, is to have good discussion about it, about the game, where it is, things that you like about the game, or even dislike. It was one of the whole reasons why I created the Diablo Digest series, was I wanted to kind of put something out there that was a little bit thought-provoking, get you thinking about the game in different ways. And that's kind of where this series got its roots, too. At first it was, of course, showing off abilities in the beta, since not everybody could be in the beta. And it kind of turned into a analytical theory crafting, somewhat, playthrough. And part of it is to, again, a self-imposed challenge of always using the skills I get. Why? Because it's fun, and sometimes downright dangerous. But it forces me to take a look at the skills, learn how they work, and think about them in kind of new ways. Oh dear, had a little bit of lag there, I think. Uh-oh, I'm out of the circle. I did not want to be out of the circle. All these squares make a circle. All these squares make a circle. Oh dear. Oh dear. Slow them, please. I'm not even going to be able to utilize that rune. Oh dear. These minions are tough. I keep using my abilities to gain back health, and I'm just running like the dickens here. Summon the dogs. I wouldn't give for Spirit Walk right about now. The darts, thankfully, are keeping my mana up there. So I'm able to kind of spam, oh jeez, a bit as I run. Kind of doing the hit and run here. Every now and then we go get life. This is working, but definitely very difficult. Oh yes, today was the day they finally gave us all of our bonuses here. I'm gonna show that off. They finally gave us the pre-order bonus for pre-ordering Reaper of Souls. I've got the wings sitting in my pack, or not in my pack, but in my message screen, as you can see in the lower left. I've got that message pending. I'm gonna grab those, and I'm gonna use those a bit. I think it'll be fun to run around with the glorious wings of glory and justice and stuff. Alright, Desecrator. I'm trying to stay out of that. Grasp of the Dead given a very putrid green color with this rune. I like the fact that it has a higher chance of enemies dropping health globes. The downside is, since it doesn't have the additional slow, it doesn't have additional damage, it's not as easy to kill things inside this field. Especially not with this build. I mean, I've got the dogs, certainly, but the dogs really don't do a lot of burst damage. They do a bit more sustained damage. Plus, they're kind of a defensive ability. They're there to keep enemies off of me, so I don't have to worry about getting hit. Yeah, see, at least I got a health glow, but I think I would have gotten that anyway because he was an elite. So that's hard to say. Not entirely keen on this build. It looks like I'm going to have another build pretty soon, actually. I'm pretty sure they increased this because I am leveling a little faster than I was expecting to. I wasn't expecting to gain a couple levels that quickly. Yes. I'm going to have to go and check the news ticker, see if there was something I missed.
Need more mana.
Yeesh. I completely missed. That was inexcusable, really inexcusable. So I do want to say I want to apologize a tiny bit because I did notice from the previous recordings, you know, having gone back, I do watch them all. I watch what I do because I want to make sure everything got recorded properly. There's not, if I need to remove noise in the background or anything like that, I do put a fairly high production value into what I do. Some of these are actually fairly simple to make because there's minimal editing done. I usually try to keep everything unedited. But there are some things I try to do to make sure quality is good, you know, noise adjustment, my volume versus the game volume, things like that. I try to make sure everything at least looks and feels good, so that it can be enjoyable. But part of that is I do go through and I watch and or at least listen to it and try and make sure everything's good there. And it also, again, helps me to reflect what I've been talking about, what I've been saying, see if I may have said anything incorrect. Alright, not worried about that because I've already gone through those a lot. And I kind of noticed that I did bring up kind of similar subjects through a few of the videos. Very specifically, I know I talked a lot about the leveling speed to items and all that. I really didn't mean to talk about the same subject multiple times for different videos. I think for the most part I was able to put different spins on it. But I didn't want it to seem like I'm just sitting there hitting on a dead horse and preaching the same thing over and over again. Ah, excellent. Hedge magic. Acid cloud, acid rain. Excellent. So, a skill I'm already using that I enjoy. What else do we get? Mass confusion, unstable realm. Okay, that's 3 skills. Excellent. So let's go ahead. Acid cloud. Acid rain increases the initial area of effect of acid cloud to 24 yards. So that's nice. It normally starts with, does it even say? Rain down, 300% weapon damage, 360 weapon damage is poison. It doesn't say. It doesn't say. I think that doubles it, but let's find out. Like if I hit it here in the middle, looks like it just kind of barely... Yeah, there's about that there. So let's take a look. Acid cloud, acid rain. Oh yeah, I think that just doubled it because it's going all across this platform now. Look at that. All the way down there. Take this! Yes! Yes! Take that! Death from above from long range. Aha! They didn't even see it coming. Alright, mass confusion. So I really don't want to get rid of Soul Harvest. I really, really don't. I'm not feeling it with Big Bad VooDoo right now. It is a good ability. I really like it. It is probably better in group play. And probably better if I included both the dogs and the Gargantuan. Or something else. You know, if I had anything else doing damage. Or maybe if I wasn't using such a big spender. You know, I'm using a pretty big spender there. Let's go back to the Gargantuan. We're going to go back to Humongoid for this build. And it looks like the zombie dogs are going to go away in favor of hedge magic. So he will periodically heal allies for 388 life. That's pretty good. That is about 10% of my life. So periodically gets 10% of my life. Now if I cast that every 15 seconds, that's about 10% of my life every 15 seconds. At least once. He goes out for longer than that. So he does cure more often than that. So I do like that. Now, I think what we'll do is get rid of the Grasp of the Dead. What's interesting about this is I don't know if Grasp of the Dead can summon zombie dogs if it's not on my bar. You know what? I want to keep that for now. Because I want to see that. I want to know if that's the way it works. With that being the case, let's go ahead and get rid of the Gargantuan for now. Let's just go a little off build. And let's do Mass Confusion. Unstable Realm. Reduce the cooldown of Mass Confusion 45 seconds. That's nice. 45 seconds for that. Very good. Okay. I'm not using zombie dogs anymore, so nor am I using Gargantuan. So let's get rid of Zombie Handler. And, you know what? I think I need Bad Medicine back. Yeah, just give me Bad Medicine. I'm putting that on top of Jungle Fortitude. And I don't want to do Circle of Life because I'm trying to test out Grasp of the Dead. I want to see if it gives me dogs. I want to see if it acts just like the passive. Being an active skill, it may not. It may not. It may just do health globes. Okay, with that, I think I just need a way to keep myself alive. So, maximum mana and intelligence, that's nice, but Blood Ritual is life return. Additional generate life per second. I do have hedge magic with that. Let's do that. Let's do Blood Ritual. Actually, you know what? I'll just go Jungle Fortitude combined with Bad Medicine. That will give me 20% damage reduction on the enemy, 15% additional damage reduction on myself, right? Yep, very good. Okay, so let's go ahead and get him out so he can start healing. Need my mana back. Alright, put down the grass. Start killing stuff. Alright, so I've got one dog. Alright, put out a little bit of confusion there. Now I've got 3 dogs. Excellent. So even though I'm using Grasp of the Dead, I need to kill these guys, I really do. So I'm using Grasp of the Dead, and Grasp of the Dead is technically counting as 2 skills right now. It's got the slow, it's got the AoE, but it is giving me dogs. 10% chance of dogs. Sight of hail. A little bit of acid rain. 40% chance, looking at a high 80s for the evening. Show local forecast in Sanctuary. But it works, and it does quite a bit for taking up 1 slot on the bar. Now the question is, if I remove it, do I keep the dogs? Because one bug, or possibly intended since it's been around for forever, is when you use Circle of Life and you get dogs and you take it off your bar, they don't go away. You get to keep the dogs from Circle of Life if you remove the passive. Now, you do not get to keep the dogs from the active ability. So the question is, if I get rid of Grasp of the Dead, does it get rid of the dogs? Because it's an active ability. So we're going to do that. We're going to get rid of Grasp of the Dead. We are going to... You know what? I'm going to get my Gargantuan back. And Humongoid. Accept. Hey! The dogs are still around, so that is good to see. Alright, we're going to move these around. Gargantuan's getting summoned. Now, what I find interesting about the pets of the Witch Doctor, and this is something that's been around since, you know, the game came out, but recent changes to the game, thanks to Reaper of Souls, have made this seem a little weird, is that my pets, the dogs, and the Gargantuan himself, really are very passive abilities. You put them on your bar, you only use them whenever you need to resummon them. A lot of companion spells, and by companion spells I specifically mean things like pets or the actual companion spell for demon hunters, mystic allies for the monk, and I do believe, I can't think off the top of my head, I think some other classes might have it, particularly maybe the Crusader. But a lot of classes have allies now that, when you put them on your bar, summons that ally. And when that ally dies, they will automatically respawn after a few seconds. Right? The Demon Hunter's pets actually have life bars. They will go away, and then they'll revive. Kind of like one of the companions, like the Scoundrel or the Sorceress or Enchantress. The Monk... They have life as well, but their respawn time is always said in their tooltips as 5 seconds. They come back after 5 seconds and you're good to go. And what they do is they typically offer you some kind of passive buff. You've got one that increases your health, I believe, one that increases your damage, one that increases your dodge, things like that. But on the other side of that is they usually have an active component. You activate the ability, and you get something out of it. So an ally, one of the allies for the monk, gives him increased life regeneration, I believe. It's either life regeneration or life on hit. Actually, I'm thinking about the wrong one. I was going to give another example. Okay, let me give a different example because I can't confirm that one, and I just used that at the wrong time. I'm also getting lag, which is a little odd. There is an ally for the monk that when you put him down, he increases your spirit generation by, I believe, 1 per second, which is great. So you use this ally. He is a separate ally. He takes a little bit of the damage from you, so he'll distract the enemy. He does a bit more damage for you, so he does use your base weapon damage. And then on top of it all, you can use him as an ability. And when you use him, he gives you, I believe it was 100. I'm sorry, I believe it was 100 spirit back. So not only is he passively giving you something, but you activate him and he gives you a bunch more. The other ally I was thinking of that does give you life, when you activate him, it sacrifices the ally to give you 100% of your life. I mean, that's massive. And then he comes back after 5 seconds, but the ability itself has a 1 minute cooldown. 50 seconds, really. 50 seconds, to be exact. Alright, hit everything. This is our chatty friend, Cormac. It's glorious! Did you see that one over there? Yeah. Come on, Cormac. My dogs are lasting. That's kind of nice to see. I do like the additional radius on this Acid Cloud. It's pretty nice. If you're looking to hit a big group of enemies, it is definitely a good spell for that. Although I think I prefer some of the other runes. There's a couple that I remember using in the past that I liked. I believe one that left an acid slime, so it left lingering damage over time, which was always great. But back to what I was saying, I mean, the one big thing that I notice about the Witch Doctor here is that he only has passive pets. I'm kind of surprised they did that. A lot of the other classes received a lot of attention and a lot of different changes to their skills. While the Witch Doctor, while we have gotten some changes and some really good changes, much for the better, I'm kind of surprised that our pets remained with its old mechanic when all the other classes got changes to their pets. Now, it is arguable that our pets are more intrinsic to our playstyle, that our pets are more important, and so therefore our pets, you wouldn't want to buff them too much because then it would just be, you would never want to use anything else. I mean, as it is right now, there are different styles that you could go petless if you want, you could go a full summoner build if you want. But I don't know, I mean, because I hear arguments that, you know, the dogs, for example, people like to say the dogs are worthless, and you know, in some situations I can't disagree because the dogs die very quickly. Alright, we're going to get Locust, Swarm, Pestilence. Undeath for the zombie charger. And Pierce the Veil as a passive. You know, even if they haven't changed too much of the Witch Doctor, there are just so many mechanics of the Witch Doctor that I really love. I mean, you look at this one skill, Hex, and what it does, the different things that it does. It summons a shaman. It debuffs the enemy by making it so they can't act. Makes them take more damage. And on top of that, it heals me. 409 life. It is now more than 10% of my life, by the way. I've leveled a couple times. I believe 2 times already since this video started. So, I need to make sure that I get some items. But I've got him healing me. I've also got the Soul Harvest healing me. I've got a pretty good survivable build here, actually. Combining Soul Harvest with Hex can be a very good way to keep yourself alive, especially when you consider the crowd control efforts of the Hex Shaman. Because not only am I getting life back, the enemy can't do anything, so I'm mitigating damage. It's a double whammy. There's really a lot that this skill does for one skill slot. I mean, a lot of Witch Doctor skills actually do have that, which I think is also why it seems more jarring that skills like the Gargantuan or the dogs don't have something else going for them. It's like, what if the dogs had been combined with sacrifice? Like, hitting the button again would have sacrificed them for me or something. That seems odd, but I mean, you could have made it work, right? Make it so that the dogs regenerate every couple of seconds on their own so that they don't have a huge passive or a huge cooldown time when they die, and make sacrifice be the thing that you do and put all the sacrifice runes on the dog or something like that. I mean, that you could do that. Would it work? Would it be balanced? Well, you'd probably have to change things around a bit, but it would make the skill be a bit more dynamic rather than just sitting on my bar summoning the pets. Don't get me wrong, I kind of like that, having skills on my bar that are just about summoning pets and things like that, but what can you do? Alright, let's take a look. What did I get for Pierce the Veil? What is this? I forget. All of your damage is increased by 20%, but mana cost is increased by 30%. Ooh. Ho ho ho. I think I need something like that, though, where I am. Bad Medicine is better for now, so we'll get Jungle Fortitude out of there for Pierce the Veil, since I'm doing a lot of AoE on Bad Medicine here. Let's see, what did I get overall? Let's go to the secondary. We got Zombie Charger for Decay, so I'll be using that instead. Undeath, still doing poison damage, so that's good. If the Zombie Charger kills an enemy, it will reanimate and charge nearby enemies for 360 weapon damage as poison. It can repeat up to 2 times. So it's kind of like a Chain Lightning, but with zombies. Chain Zombie Lightning. Brains. If they're vegetarian, they want grains. Yeah, it was a stupid joke, but what do you expect? You didn't come here for the... you didn't come here for my humor. You came here to listen to Deckard Cain. And sadly, you still decide not to use me. Shut up, old man. Swear to God. Alright. What else do we get? Locust Swarm. So this will be odd. I've got Zombie Charger, which is fairly cheap, I think we're going to get rid of Mass Confusion. I like Mass Confusion. I like the fact that it's on a very low cooldown, but let's do Locust Swarm. Pestilence. Locust Swarm has a 100% chance to jump to 2 additional enemies instead of just 1. So this was the one I was kind of talking about when I first got it, where it spreads a lot quicker with Pestilence. Although I have noticed that Pestilence, or I'm sorry, Locust Swarm, will spread fairly quickly now. I don't remember it spreading as fast as it does now. Back when I first got it, I could be completely wrong. I could just be misremembering that. But this, I mean, if you get a large group of enemies, you put this out there and you're just going to see it. It's just going to jump everywhere, and within a couple seconds, the entire enemy group is going to be hit. So I think that was everything, was just those 3 skills. All right, let's move on. So here's the new zombie charger. So if it kills something, it kind of gets up and it keeps going. Now, I remember it not working quite the way I thought it would when I first got it before, in that I thought it would kind of get up and then he would change direction and go for the next thing. I think all it does is extend the length of where he goes. Alright, so there's my Pestilence. You can see it's already on all of them. Yeah, see, I know I killed them with the zombie charger, but I'm going to have to just test that on its own. Janda! I know, we've made that joke, right? A million times before, but it doesn't get old. It's like, what's up? Janda! It wasn't funny the first time. It won't be funny the 50 millionth time that you try to do that. Alright, let's see. If we don't get... Is it lag I'm getting, or are they just hitting a wall? Okay, I see him. Okay, hold on. Okay, I just rubber banded. Let's try this. See him? Did he get up again? I am not really able to tell how this works. This is one of the skills that really eludes me. Of course, I got these 2 beaten on crap. Would you guys let me do something here? Didn't seem like he was going any further than he's gone before. Ah, there he goes. Cool, he killed an enemy, and he basically... So he does get up and change direction. Alright, it's just that you don't always kind of see how it works. So the good news with Pestilence is that I can just put it down once, and I can pretty much be guaranteed that it's going to jump through the entire enemy line. And so I can put it down once, use the mana for that, and then spam Zombie Charger. See, there he goes, he came back. Great, so it does work as I was expecting. It's just not a skill that's entirely easy to use. You just kind of have to spam it and hope it's going to rebound, and not hope on that rebound. It's just, if it works, then great, because you get double the damage. So it can happen up to 3 times, or up to 2 times. It can repeat 2 times. You can hit an enemy up to 3 times in total. Ah! I tried to explain mechanics, and then I twip over my own tongue. And then it just sounds confusing. So we're looking at 560 weapon damage. It will reanimate. Okay, it doesn't quite do double, actually. It does 360 rather than the 560. Charge nearby enemies for 360, so that happens twice. So if it procs twice, then it does double the damage, roughly. A little more than double, because you're looking at 720, I believe. 720, so a little more than double. But if it does it once, it's just 360. So yeah, no, that has potential for doing a lot of damage. The problem is, it has to kill. The hit has to kill. You have to get the last hit. Those of you familiar with MOBAs know what I'm talking about.
I will enjoy this.
Oh, I will enjoy this indeed. Rafiki the medicine man! Uh-oh. Oh dear. I'm so glad Pestilence is out there reducing their damage, because that hurt. Oh jeez. Heal me! I'm being silly by not using a potion, I know. I'm trying to survive as long as I can without resorting to that, really. I want to see if I can do it. It might be silly. This guy is tough. And I've got... I've got plagued on me. This is bad. Oh. Come on, I've got the hedge magic out. What I need to do is grab my soul harvest here and get into a group. Heal me up, buddy. I just went in a big circle, and I ring around the rosy, a pocket full of dead guys. Zombies, zombies, they all fall down. Okay, so I've got to keep using the Jinx here, or the Hex. Kind of keep myself alive. It's a good thing I've got the Poison Dart that also gives me a bit more mana back too, because it's kind of needed for spam builds. Alright, so I'm using as much as I can the hedge magic to keep myself alive, combining that, of course, with Siphon here. It's working out so far, but I'm kind of having to move around a lot, obviously. I like the fact that my hedge magic has a fairly low cooldown, so I'm able to kind of repeat him fairly often. You can kind of see how I'm able to run around. I'm not using potions very often. I've only really used one potion so far. I'm moving around, and the hedge magic is healing me. The Siphon is healing me. As long as I play my cards right, keep moving, this is not really going to be a problem. Where's my chicken? Oh, come on. Chicken? He's slacking. He is totally slacking. Oh, he turned the elite into a chicken. I could have totally... yeah. Done with the other two being chickens. Oh, oh, yes, shahaha, Shaka Zulu. That hurt. That was potion time. That was potion time. Potion time before hamburger time. I missed. Oh my goodness, I missed. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, I fail. I fail at life. Therefore, I'm dead, right? Okay. Okay. Well, that could have been really awesome for me to do without dying, and unfortunately, I failed at it. This is all the more reason, I think, that I need to lower the difficulty, because I lasted a good long time there. It just took a long time to kind of circle around here. You know what I should do? Oh, if it wasn't copyrighted... Is it copyrighted? Is it in the domain of free use at this point? I don't know. I'm not going to risk it. I would play the Benny Hill song with this whole sequence sped up at 500%. You can just totally see that, right? Just zooming around in one of my sexy parties. Oh, you know what? My Gargantuan died, and I completely didn't even notice. Oh, now he's running from me! What is this?
In a strange reversal, the undead appears to actually be scared of Kage. Or is it Cage? I never did figure that one out. He runs, but why does he run? The witch doctor is powerless to his undead machinations of poison powder.
Okay, I stopped talking so I could just focus on killing that guy and just get this over with. He ran all the way back here and up there a little bit. Yeah, it was just, there was nothing to say, and it was just nothing but chasing him, turning into a chicken constantly, and he eventually died. So I'm going to spare you guys that. I got myself a Nephilim Glory. That's probably going to wear out before I can do anything with it. No, maybe these guys.